So we're a little bit halfway through 2024, so I thought it may be a good time to do a mid-year market update. One question that everybody seems to be asking lately is, will the housing market crash sometime this year? Now, I have clients as well as friends and family that know I'm in the business all asking me this question. So there have been a lot of headlines in the news and posts on social media talking about this very subject. Basically, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of opinions. So today I'm going to try to cut through some of the noise that's out there and give you my take on the Richmond, Virginia real estate market. And we're getting after it right now. If this is your first time in the channel and you want to know everything there is about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good, the bad, about Richmond, Virginia, and the surrounding counties of Hanover, Henrico, Chesterfield, New Kent, Goochland, and Powhatan, then subscribe below and tap the notifications bell so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Richmond, Virginia. Now, my name is Scott Durnley with Joyner Fine Properties. My team and I get calls from folks like you every single day for help making the move to the greater Richmond area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days, 90 days, even 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. All that info is linked in the description below, and we will help you make a smooth move to Richmond, Virginia. According to a LendingTree poll, 44% of Americans feel like the housing market is going to crash this year, and 33% are not sure. We have to ask ourselves, why are people asking this question? In the Metro Richmond area, we have seen 69% growth in the median sales price in just the last 5 years. So 5 years, our median sales price was right at $240,000, and today it's at $405,000. That's 69%. That is an insane amount of growth, given that 3 to 4% annual growth is our 50-year average. So we are also at a 30-year low in housing affordability when you take into account wages, home prices, and mortgage rates. So I think a lot of the negative noise out there about the market is just wishful thinking. 32% of non-homeowners said that housing costs, actually they're going to need a housing crash before they can see themselves affording a home. So I've got some good news for you and I've got some bad news for you. Experts are saying that a housing market crash is a very unlikely event. Like any other market, housing is driven by the basic laws of supply and demand economics. And the reality is right now, our demand is constant and the supply is simply not there. All right, so why is this the case? Why is our supply low and why is our demand still pretty good? It's pretty constant. Well, there's 3 big drivers here. Number one, from 2009 to 2018, new home builders built way below the amount of homes that are typically built based on our 50-year average. Now, new construction got absolutely hammered in the last downturn in 2008. Many builders went out of business during the downturn, and the ones that survived simply didn't build as many homes due to market conditions. Now, if you've watched enough of my videos, by now you know that I'm married to a custom home builder. My wife owns Youngblood Properties. So I am very in tune with the new home market, and I saw all of this happen firsthand. It took builders a long time after that downturn in 2008, 2009 to have the confidence to ramp production back up, and we're still feeling those effects to today. Number two, that supply has remained fairly low, actually very low, is interest rates. So with rates at historical lows over the past several years, nobody wants to leave these incredible rates they currently have for the new higher rates of between 6 and 7%. So 62% of homeowners nationwide have a mortgage rate below 4%. So that's giving them a very low motivation to sell, to swap out for this higher rates that we see today. Now, I myself am locked in at 2.75, so I'm a victim of the same, scenario. It would take an act of Congress or a, large life event for me to move right now and trade in my 2.75% rate for a higher rate. So now there are buy down options on mortgages, which could help mitigate some of these, this higher rate issue. And if you don't understand how buy downs work, reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk to you about that, and I can help you wrap your mind around mortgage buy downs. Now, I, along with many experts, feel that rates will start coming down again over the next, probably end of this year toward next year. So there will be an opportunity to refinance, down the road, I think, and save yourself money on that monthly payment. So there are folks who have sat out on the sidelines for the last couple years, buyers that have just been waiting. They've been waiting for prices to come down. Houses have been selling for sometimes $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over the list price. And these folks are waiting to come down. Well, what actually happened? Interest rates have gone up during that period and house prices did not come down. And these folks have been waiting for rates to come down. So my advice to people sitting on the fence right now is I would buy now, take advantage of current pricing, because I do think things are going to continue to appreciate, and just refinance down the road when those rates get more attractive. All right, so our third reason, we're going to talk a little on the demand side. Our first two are on the supply side, but there are a large chunk of that millennial generation that still want or need to buy a home. And we now have older Gen Zers starting to end up into the buyer's market as well. So we're seeing that some of the younger crowd start to enter the home buying market. That is helping bolster our demand. So another way to look at this is month supply of inventory, which is basically a metric that we use to track the relationship between current supply and demand in the market. So on a country as a whole, we are sitting on about 4 months of live inventory, which definitely means we are still in a seller's market. So let's bring this back from those national stats to the local Richmond market for a moment. Here are some stats comparing the second quarter of 2024 to the second quarter of 2023. Now, in some local markets, the closed sales, the number of closed sales is up, and in some markets, the number of closed sales is down, as you can see from the graph. Now, one thing, if you move farther over on the graph, you'll see one thing that's constant, though, is the median sales price is up in Richmond and every single county. Now, Goochland County is on the low end, as you can see, with a 5.6% increase, which is still a pretty nice increase. And Powhatan County is leading the pack at 22.6% increase in median home price from Q2 of last year to this year. That is crazy. Now, the rest of the markets are in kind of a 7 to 11% range. So in short, the Richmond housing market is strong and still experiencing appreciation. So I'm going to leave you with a great quote from Forbes. It says, quote, "As already home prices continue to trend upward, you may be concerned that we are in a bubble that is ready to pop. However, the likelihood of a market crash remains low in 2024. So to answer the question, do we predict a housing crash in 2024? I simply don't think so. So if you're unsure about the market, whether or not this might be the right time to buy, the best thing is for us to have a discussion. I won't try to sell you anything. My goal is just to arm you with information so you and your family can make the right decision for you. So if you'd like to talk, all of my information is listed below. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video.